type IE Explorer over here, it will launch Internet Explorer and similarly Firefox and other ones, right? Okay. Next is Selenium Grid. So I think we are running short of time, so I will take some of the questions in the last 5 minutes. Okay. The challenge with the online app is that on the user side there could be any kind of combination of various variables. Text boxes, check. So one is that there are various kind of variables on the web page, and then there are the environments themselves, on the user side are different. So somebody is using Windows 7, somebody is using Windows 8, somebody is using Red Hat, somebody is using Ubuntu, somebody is using Mac. Then there are these various versions of these, and there are various service packs over there. So let us say on OS side, Windows, Mac, and Linux are 3 variants, and browsers are IE, Firefox, Chrome, Safari, etc. Now, if you delve further, there are versions, service packs, and languages also. So, English, UK, US, Chinese, Japanese, French, Italian, German, Spanish, so many. And so, if we were to test on all of them, right, that's a real challenge actually. And Selenium Grid is the answer to that. That is, it is a tool that extends Selenium RC by running tests on different instances of such combinations in parallel. And it reduces the time and subsequently the cost for testing in various browsers under multiple operating systems. So just to share with you, the term grid comes from the term grid computing, which generally refers to as distributed computing system in which a kind of super virtual computer is enabled, consisting of loosely coupled computers acting together to perform a large task. And hence the term grid and Selenium Grid has come. So it enables running tests in distributed test execution environment. It enables to have a central point from where Selenium commands can be sent to various instances of Selenium. That is, you have a central place where you run the test, which consists of Selenium commands, and then it basically, send them across to different instances, which are nothing but the one piece of the various combinations which we want to run the test on. Now, this central point is referred to as a hub, and the various instances are that of Selenium RC, which are connected to the hub and can be configured to run on different machines with different operating systems and browsers. So, more pictorially, it will look like, you have the test automation script, which consists of Selenium commands. You send it to the hub, and then, hub finds out whether on which systems you want to run it on. So, which you pass, the information is passed to the hub that these are the instances that we want the test to be run. And so whether on Google Chrome on Windows, IE on Windows, Firefox and Windows, and so on, you would have configured on the web on the hub. And then it passes those Selenium commands to the application under test on these instances. And this whole thing, that is hub and these instances, correspond to what is referred to as Selenium Grid. And using Selenium Grids, you can either run serial tests, but then when you have multiple number of machines, so you can now run tests in parallel. That is, if you were running, let's say, 10 test suites now on a single machine, which was taking, let's say, 10 hours, and now if you set up 10 machines, you can run them parallelly, so it will take 1/10 of the time. That is, in 1 hour, you will be done with the whole testing. And as I shared with you that in order to run tests on various browsers, Selenium RC got developed. So if I were to share more pictorially with you, so you had different browsers, Firefox, IE, and Chrome, on which you had the application under test, and the Selenium core was there, which came through which came through the ID or the remote control server. And the test returns in Java, C#, Python, Ruby, Perl, or PHP, via the client libraries for these languages, that is Java, C#, they went through the remote control to these various browsers, and where the Selenium core interpreted these commands and executed the actions on application under test. So this is what the Selenium 1.0 was. Now, that is a test written in different languages go through respective client libraries, remote control server Selenium code sitting inside the browser, and finally the command get executed on AUT. But WebDriver took a different approach to run the test on AUT. So what was that different approach? It said that the test returns in Java, C#, Python, Ruby, Perl now directly without the remote control, work with different browsers, and there is a browser driver for each of these browsers which will determine what is the best fit language in which this conversion need to take place to run the test on application under test. So though to support the legacy test automation test scripts, it still supports the Selenium remote control route. So Selenium 2.0 has both, that is you can directly work with the browser drivers, or you can use the traditional script, though how you can use the traditional with a minor tweaking of writing and updating your scripts with the migration policy that they have in place. Okay, so I'll just give you a quick demo of already written script for Selenium WebDriver. So let me just show you. So now what we are doing is that we basically invoke a WebDriver by the name of, let's say, driver. Okay, and of course we are using Selenium WebDriver over here in place of Selenium remote control. And so we do the setup, and what we are doing, for example, over here I am instantiating a Firefox browser using the Firefox driver call, and then after the test I quit this driver. But what is the test? That is driver.get, and then this I give the URL of the page where I want to go, and then I say driver.find element by name queue. So now so this is more more in line with the way the programmers do the programming, and then I say search field dot send keys test to be best, and web element search dot button driver dot 5 element by button gg, and then button g, and then search button dot click, that is click this button, and then I say assert true, that is verify whether advanced search is there, verify whether google.com is there on that page or not, these kind of things. And then I can run this test. So if I run this test, so it will basically launch Firefox, right? Okay, hold on. So it's just still launching. Okay, yeah, so it has launched Firefox. Okay, and okay, so it will go to google.com. So it is connecting to google.com. Maybe there are some network issues at the moment. Okay, it's taking a long time. I'm connecting through my data card at the moment, and this webinar is also going on, so it's not going through. But it will just go to the google.com, type that, give the results, and come back. So let me skip this for the timing. You can try it out. So that's about what we have, and I think I don't have time to cover other stuff. But you can write JavaScript